Croissant Pub to the game's under £20 PSN sale. There's a huge amount of great deals to be had in this sale, so watch the whole video to find some cool games and save over £430 in discounts. And then subscribe if you like it. You're welcome here anytime. In any case, this sale ends on the 30th of March, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Okay, let's look at the games. First up is Eterno Blade 2. It was released in 2019, so it's 3 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £6.24, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal. In this action puzzle platformer, you get to harness the Aero Blade to defy the abyss as you harness the power of time itself to explore multiple dimensions, fighting enemies and solving puzzles along the way. It features 3 playable characters, powerful boss battles, and a combo-based combat system. I'm surprised I never heard of this game before because it looks really cool. It looks like a great action platformer with some puzzles thrown in as well, which is just brilliant. You know me, I like puzzles, and it's nice having some to break up the action. So if you're a fan of action platformers, you should take a look at this, it looks really good. And if you've never played an action platformer before, then I would look elsewhere because you can get some really cheap sometimes. Like I'm talking under £2, so you might want to wait for them instead. Subscribe to the channel and you won't miss out when they do come on sale. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag Standard Edition is our next game. It was released in 2013, so it's 8 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the low price of £3.19, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal for a great game. In this open world action adventure, set in 1715 in the pirate-filled Caribbean, you play Edward Kenway, who is Welsh and therefore better than Ezio. It features the usual Assassin's Creed gameplay, with naval combat for the first time, including boarding fights as well, which are really awesome. I've completed this game myself and I absolutely loved it. I've played a lot of the Assassin's Creed games before this, and this is one of the best. The Ezio trilogy I would say is the pinnacle, but this is the best individual game. I mean, it's basically a Pirates of the Caribbean game, but with Assassin's Creed thrown in as well. You can't ask for much more, it's a phenomenal game. If you like open world action adventure games, or pirates, or Assassin's Creed, or all of the above, you should definitely take a look at this. It's a fantastic game at a ridiculously good price. And if you've never played an Assassin's Creed game before, then this is a fantastic place to start. You should definitely take a look at this game, it's well worth the money. And then if you like it, go and get the Ezio trilogy at some point. They're the best narrative of the series. We have a management sim next, Avon Colony. It was released in 2017, so it's 5 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £4.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal for a good looking game. In this game you get to build massive sprawling cities on Avon Prime, an alien planet full of deserts, tundras and wetlands. You get to manage your colony while exploring the planet, discovering its ancient secrets and alien wildlife. This game looks really awesome. I'm a big fan of city management games, and this may not be the most complicated one ever made, but it's still really cool, and I like the theme of it. So if you're a fan of city management games, why not check it out? It's pretty decent, and it's at a good price. And if you've never played a city management game before, this is a great place to start. It's pretty cheap, and it's way more accessible than some of the more complicated ones, so it's a fantastic place to start. If you've ever wanted to try one, I'd recommend this one. Why not take a look at it? And keep an eye out for the DLC, because that goes on sale every now and again for like £1, so that wouldn't be too bad to pick up either. Our next game is Battle Chef Brigade Deluxe. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the price of £3.19, which is great. This is an action puzzle game set in Victusia, where the elite Battle Chef Brigade hunt monsters to cook into delicious cuisine. You get to play as 2 chefs trying to succeed at Victusia's cooking challenges by beating up monsters and solving cooking puzzles, and it even includes 2-player local co-op as well, so it's great to play with a friend. This game is really unique and odd, but it made waves when it came out. A lot of people that reviewed it loved it, and it did the rounds on YouTube and a load of people had a ton of fun playing it. If you like puzzle games and combat platformers, then you should probably take a look at this. It's very different and unique, and it's a really good game. So why not take a chance and have a go at it? You won't find many different games like this, and you might just have a great time playing it. You never know. Up next is my star by Castlevania Requiem, Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the price of £3.19, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a great deal for two really good games. These are two of the best Castlevania games ever made, where you get to fight Dracula as Richter Belmont in one, and you get to play as Dracula's son in the second, with both games being set in huge mansions, with the typical Metroidvania gameplay, where you get to run around opening new areas and fighting huge epic bosses. I love Metroidvania games, and this is half of the franchises that started it way back in the day. Castlevania is a legendary series, and these are arguably the two best Castlevania games. So if you're a fan of Castlevania and you never played them, this is a great chance to pick them up. And if you haven't played a Castlevania game before, this is a great opportunity to pick up two top games for a really good price. They're my style buy. You should definitely take a look at it if you're interested. Especially if you like Metroidvania games, you can't go far wrong. You really can't. And hey, if you've never played a Metroidvania game before, these are two really good AAA ones from a legendary series. So if you've ever been interested, this is a great opportunity for you to pick these up right now and have a great time. You'll probably really enjoy yourself and find a new genre that you'll love. You can't go far wrong at this price. Check them out. We'll go in old school next. Contra Anniversary Collection. It was released in 2019, so it's 3 years old, but it's a collection of much older games than that really. And they're on an 80% discount for the price of £3.19, which is a really good price, especially for the amount of games included, as you get 10 full games from the NES, SNES, arcade and Game Boy era, and plus a bonus ebook of the history of Contra, which will be great for fans of the series. You get to play the legendary retro shooter series, including different versions of the originals in this awesome collection. It features difficult skill-based shooting and platforming with massive bosses and a huge variety of guns to use. This series is just as legendary as the Castlevania games, so if you're a run and gun shooting fan, or you like challenging games but you never played them, you'll probably want to check these games out. Next up is Blob 2. It was released in 2017, so it's 5 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the price of £4.99, which isn't bad. In this platformer you play as Blob, an amorphous blob of paint bringing colour back to the grayscale world by fighting the Inked Corporation. It features 2-player offline multiplayer, with new co-op modes as well, which is pretty cool if you've got friends to play with. This is a pretty unusual game, and it made quite a big impact when it came out way back in the day. I mean, I would say it inspired Splatoon, but no one else has said that, so I might get a bit of kickback about that. But it definitely did. I mean, seriously, look at the screenshots. In any case, it's a different and unique platformer, so if you're a fan of that sort of game, why not take a look at it? You might really enjoy it. And if you've never played a platformer like this before, which you probably haven't, then it might be of interest to you. But there's a ton of really good platformers around, and they're dirt cheap as well, so you don't have to pick this up. There's plenty more games you can take a look at instead. And on a side note, the first one is also on sale for 80% discount, £3.19. So if you've never played the first one, you might want to take a look at that one too. Devil May Cry HD Collection and 4SE Bundle is next. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, but it's a bundle of games from way older than that really, and it's on a 67% discount for the price of £13.19, which is really great for full games, as this bundle includes the first 4 Devil May Cry games, remastered with all the DLC included. So if you never played this fantastic series, this is a great bundle to pick them all up, and you don't normally see it on sale either, so it's really unusual to see it at this sort of price. In these third-person action games, you get to play as Dante the half-demon devil hunter, comboing your way through levels, slashing and shooting enemies, and battling massive bosses to build up huge point scores and save the day along the way. This is a legendary action series, and it really focuses on skill-based gameplay, racking up huge combos and scores, and you get ranked for every fight you're in. So if you're the sort of gamer that likes leaderboards, or playing for better scores, you'll probably really enjoy the gameplay in this. If you like action games, why not check them out? They're a great series, and it's a really great bundle. And hey, if you've never played action games like this before, then I probably wouldn't recommend this bundle, because you get a lot of games and a lot of time for your money, which is pretty bad if you end up hating them. So I take a look around instead and start somewhere else. You can always come back to this at a later date, when you know you love the genre, and then you know it's worth it. I really like the look of the next game, Distrust. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £3.24, which is really good. This roguelike survival game is inspired by John Carpenter's The Thing, where you play a randomly generated Arctic base full of explorers who realize by sleeping they attract a terrifying force that sucks their life essence. But the less sleep they get, the more crazy they become. It features 15 characters with unique skills, randomly generated levels, realistic Arctic survival requirements, and a ton of quests, events, and plot twists. So like I said, it's pretty obviously inspired by John Carpenter's The Thing, which is awesome because that's one of the best horror movies ever made, which makes this game very interesting to me. So if you're a big fan of The Thing, and hey, if you're not and you haven't watched the movie, then go and watch it. It's amazing. Do yourself a favour. Anyway, if you're a fan of the movie, you'll probably really like this game. And if you've never played a roguelike survival horror game before, then you should definitely take a look at this game. It's based on a legendary movie. It's on an awesome discount. You really can't go far wrong. Check it out. You won't regret it. I promise. And before anyone complains in the comments, yes, I know John Carpenter's The Thing is a remake of the original Thing from outer space. I'm fully aware of that. So no moaning about it, alright? Next up, we have Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition. It was released in 2015, so it's 7 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the price of £3.74, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, as this includes £24.99 worth of DLC, including 3 story expansions, extra mounts, gear, and customizations. So you get a massive amount of content included for this dirt cheap price. You can't go far wrong, really. In this action RPG, you get to create your own unique character and become the Inquisitor, the leader who must rally people to fight the demons spilling forth from the breach, which is threatening the world of Thedas. I love the Dragon Age series. Dragon Age Origins is hands down the best RPG I've ever played. If you love RPGs and you haven't played it, go back and play it. You'll love me for it later, I promise. In any case, the second game sucked, and this game's really good, but not as good as the first one. But at this price you can't complain. It's a really great game with a ton of content. It's well worth the price. If you like action RPGs, do yourself a favour and check this game out. You'll probably love it, I promise. And hey, if you've never played an action RPG before, this is a fantastic place to start. It's one of the best franchises, it's a great game, it's got a load of content included, and it's at a really cheap price. Definitely take a look at it, even if you're the slight bit interested. Check it out. We have a really cool VR game next, Falcon Age. It was released in 2019, so it's 3 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the price of £3.19, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a fantastic deal. In this VR action adventure, which has move controller compatibility, and you should use them, I mean it'll make this game way better. But in any case, you play as Ara, as you raise a baby falcon to hunt, gather and fight to save your homeland from an invading automated force. It features a very interactive falcon, and loads of customizations for it, to really build your bond together. I've really liked the look of this game ever since I've seen it advertised. I mean, who wouldn't want to control a pet falcon in VR? This is the sort of thing VR was created for. You just wouldn't be able to play this sort of gameplay without it. And the sheer amount of effort they've gone to make your bird really cool and interesting, to build the bond between you as you play, is really awesome. You can tell the developer really cared, and they've put that extra time in to make the game that much better and way more enjoyable to play. If you've got a PSVR headset, then why not take a look at it? It looks really different, unique, and cool. And if you don't have a PSVR headset, then I'm sorry, you're missing out. But don't worry, there are other games on sale as well, so let's check out the next one. A Blast from the Past is next, Legend of K Anniversary. It was released in 2015, so it's 7 years old, but it's a much older game than that really. And it's on an 85% discount for the price of £3.74, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal. This third-person action platformer is a remaster of the 90s classic with enhanced graphics and character models, where you get to use martial arts combat while platforming and puzzling through a world inspired by ancient China. So if you're a big fan of old-school platformers, like Super Mario 64, or if you're looking for a game for your kid, then they'll probably really enjoy this, just like you will. So why not check it out? Our next game is Mordheim City of the Damned Complete Edition. It was released in 2016, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £7.49, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, as this edition includes 6 additional DLC packs, so you're getting a lot of extra for your money. It's a really good deal. In this turn-based strategy game, based on the Games Workshop tabletop game, you play as iconic warbands, fighting over the control of Mordheim, one neighbourhood at a time. So if you're a big fan of Games Workshop or isometric turn-based strategy, then you'll really enjoy this. It's basically like XCOM, but based on Games Workshop. So if that sounds good to you, why not check it out? There's not many fantasy versions of this gameplay around, so you don't have a lot of options. We have some action platformers next. Onikan Unstoppable Edition and Odalis The Dark Hole Bundle. It was released in 2020, so it's 2 years old, and is on at least an 80% discount for the price of £3.59 or £2.69 with PS Plus, which is really cheap for 2 full games, even if they are retro-style games. These games are inspired by the old-school Ninja Gaiden and Castlevania games. In Onikan, it's a post-apocalyptic future where ninja mercenary Zaki is the last hope for humanity, and in Odalis, a battle-weary warrior must wield his sword once more to rescue his son from darkness. So it's pretty standard stories, but hey, in these sorts of games you're not in it for the story, you're in it for the pixel-perfect gameplay and awesome soundtracks. And both of these games look great. If you're a fan of the old-school Ninja Gaiden and Castlevania games, you should definitely look at these, because you're getting them both for a really cheap price, and you'll have a lot of fun if you like those sorts of games. And hey, if you've never played these sorts of games before, then if you've got PS Plus, you should check it out, because it's a cheap price and it's 2 full games included. We have a turn-based strategy game next, Other Side. It was released in 2020, so it's 2 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £7.49, which is pretty good. In this game, you get to control mankind's last hope, the Daughters. Echoes of the greatest warrior that ever lived, are all who stand against the dread creatures arisen from the worst of humanity's crimes. It features RPG elements and permadeath for your daughters, so if you like turn-based strategies, or you're a fan of games like XCOM, then you'll probably really enjoy this game. I really like the art style, and the story seems pretty intriguing as well. Although it does look pretty dark and violent, so if that's something you're not keen on, then, stay away. And hey, if you've never played a turn-based strategy game before, then I don't think I'd recommend this. You can get other more AAA ones for cheaper than this, so you should take a look around, or subscribe, and then you won't miss out when they come on sale in the future. Up next is Rebel Cops. It was released in 2019, so it's 3 years old, and is on an 85% discount for the price of £1.19, which is dirt cheap and the cheapest I've ever seen it. In this turn-based strategy game, which is a spin-off from This Is the Police, you get to lead a ragtag squad of cops in rebellion against their town's new criminal power. With low supplies and cops dying in a single bullet, how long can you survive? It features stealth and scavenging, and it seems like a really cool game. I mean, I loved This Is the Police. I thought that game was amazing. So the fact there is linked to that is good in my book. I like the developer, and I trust their games now. So if you're a fan of turn-based strategy, and you fancy a good-looking one for cheap, why not take a look at it? And hey, if you've never played a turn-based strategy game before, then why not start here? It looks pretty decent, and it's really cheap. So you can't really go far wrong, right? Why not take a look? And our next game is Saints Row 4 Re-Elected and Get Out of Hell. It was released in 2015, so it's 7 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £4.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal for a great game and a huge expansion, as this includes the full Saints Row 4 game and the standalone expansion as well, which is a ton of really fun, hilarious content for you to play. In this open world action series, after saving the world from a terrorist organization, you get voted in as the president, just in time to deal with an alien invasion, and finally enter Hell to save the boss and fight the demon armies while meeting some historical icons along the way. If you like GTA, but you've ever wondered, it's a bit too serious. Wouldn't it be better if it wasn't so serious? This is the game series for you. Saints Row is basically GTA, but more crazy, and with a ton of content included for free. There's no microtransactions or scummy DLC add-ons here. So if that sounds great to you, why not take a look at it? You'll have a ton of fun with this game, I promise. You just can't beat it, you really can't. GTA could learn a lot from this series. These days it's lost the spirit that made it so much fun back in the day. And hey, if you've never played an open world action game before, then why not take a look at this game? It's crazy fun, and there's a lot of action and hilarity to be had with it. I can't recommend it highly enough at this price. Why not take a look at it? You'll probably really enjoy yourself. Take a look. This Is the Police 2 is our next game. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the price of £3.74, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal. In this story-driven game, you get to run the local sheriff's department your way, managing your troops, investigating, interrogating and incarcerating criminals, and make tough decisions that test your commitment to the law. I played the first game with this and I loved it. It was one of my favourite games at the time, and I've been dying for this to go on sale so I can pick it up too, and it's got me tempted because I've been dying to play this game. So if you like turn-based strategy games, and games that are a bit different, then you might just like this game. So why not think about it? It might just be the best game you've picked up lately. We have a bike race next, Tour de France 2019. It was released in 2019, obviously, so it's 3 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a dirt cheap price. You can't fault it really. In this game, the entire 21 stages from the 2019 Tour de France have been recreated for this game. It features online multiplayer for the first time, a new sprint mode, a new race Tour of Flanders, and a World Championship mode as well. So you do get a lot of content included, and if you're a fan of the Tour de France, then you'll probably really enjoy this game, so you should take a look at it. But hey, if you're not a fan of the Tour de France, then I'm not sure I'd recommend this game. You might like it if you're into racing games, but it's very unique and niche, so take a look at it if you like the sound of it, but otherwise I wouldn't recommend it in general. Your choice. We have a puzzle thriller next, Transference. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £5.99, which is pretty decent. This game has no move controller support, which is a little bit disappointing, but it's designed to be played without VR as well, so you can't fault them too much. In this game you get to experience an escape room set within a deranged mind, where you swap between 3 perspectives of a family caught in a scientist's troubled experiment, all the while trying to unravel the mystery hiding within. Like I said, this game's fully playable in VR as well, which is fantastic if you have a PSVR headset. That makes the game 10 times better, like it does most games in VR. But hey, it looks like a pretty good game anyway, so if you're into puzzle-based thrillers, you might really enjoy this game, especially if you've got a PSVR headset. You should definitely take a look at it. And hey, if you've never played a puzzle thriller before, then this looks pretty decent, so you might want to take a look at it, especially if you've got a PSVR headset. So if you're interested, why not take a look? Next up is Trials of the Blood Dragon and Trials Fusion Awesome Max Edition. It was released in 2016, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £8.99, which is really good, as this bundle includes the Trials Fusion game and the Blood Dragon standalone expansion, including 6 additional DLC packs as well, so it's a fair bit of content included. In these arcade games you get to discover a combination of physics-based gameplay that takes time and skill to master, as you ride bikes across gravity-defying stunt courses, and it features local and online multiplayer, leaderboards and a track editor as well. So if you like leaderboards, or playing user-generated content, there's a lot of content in this, practically endless. It's a really popular franchise, and the people that play it love it. So if you're a Trials fan and you don't own this bundle, then why not take a look at it? It's a really good bundle of really good versions of the game. And hey, if you've never played a Trials game before, then you might want to take a look at it. They're really great games. Definitely take a look at them before you make your decision, because they're very different and unique. It's unlikely you've played something like them before. Next up is a racing game, V-Rally 4 Ultimate Edition. It was released in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the price of £5.24, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good price, as this edition includes over £30 worth of DLC, including 4 car packs, so you get a massive amount of content included with this edition. In this game you get to drive over 50 cars in rally, rallycross, drift, buggy and hill climbing events, all featuring 2-player local co-op and an official guide to the game as well, so you do get an absolutely massive amount of content included with this game. So if you're a fan of racing games, especially rally games, or you've always wanted to try them, this is a great deal to consider, so you should probably take a look at it. And hey, if you've never played a rally game before, or maybe even a racer, you might want to check this out. It's a huge bundle at a really good price. So if you're interested or you've always wanted to try a game like this, you should definitely take a look. It's a really good deal. Well worth checking out. Next up is another rally game, WRC 6 FIA World Rally Championship. It was released in 2016, so it's 6 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the low price of £1.94, which is phenomenally cheap. This game includes all of the official 2016 WRC content, including Rally China, 11 special stages, split-screen multiplayer, worldwide leaderboards, and features fog, mud, punctures, night racing, breakdowns, and more. So you're getting really good official content and comprehensive features that'll make the racing really fun. So if you're a fan of rally, or racing, or both, then you might want to check this out, especially at this discount price. And hey, if you've never played a rally game, or a racing game like this before, then you should definitely consider it at this price. If you're interested at all, you're not risking a lot of money, and you're getting a good game for the price. We have an action RPG next, Wise Origin. It was released in 2017, so it's 5 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £4.79, which is pretty good. In this game, following a demonic invasion, twin goddesses send the Wise to live safely in the sky, but after the goddesses vanish, the demons start building a tower to reach the sky, and only you can attack the tower to save your people from extinction. It features 3 playable characters, a time attack mode, arena mode, and both English or Japanese language, which will be pretty interesting for fans of this sort of genre. Wise is a huge series, and I hear good things about it. A lot of people love them, but there's a ton of them. The good news is though, this is a prequel to the first game, so you don't need to have played any of the others to play this. It's set before the rest of them. So if you've never played them and you like the sound of it, this is a good place to start. And hey, if you've never played an action RPG like this before, then you might want to start here. It's a pretty decent price, and it's a prequel to the rest, so you can't go far wrong with it. If you're interested, why not take a look? And the final game I have for you is Zenith. It was released in 2016, so it's 6 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £3.19, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. In this traditional action RPG, you've accidentally unleashed the apocalypse while exploring some ruins, and now you and your retired wizard must now do their best to fix everything in this game based on Golden Era RPGs with added humour and parody as well. So if you're a fan of old school RPGs and you've got a sense of humour, this will probably be really up your alley, and you'll have a great time playing it. So why not take a look at it? It seems like a pretty cool and fun game, especially if you like those older RPGs. And hey, if you've never played an RPG like this before, then the comedy might be lost on you if you haven't played the older ones. I mean, I don't know, I haven't played it, but that would make sense to me. In any case, there are other AAA RPGs you can pick up for the same sort of price, so you can always start with them instead, or you can take a risk on this. It's up to you. Make your choice. And that's all the games I have for the Games Under £20 PSN sale. What did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones? Did I pick bad ones? And what about the star buy? Did it deserve it, or should something else have had it instead? Let me know in the comments and we can talk about it later. I hope you guys found some games you're interested in, but more importantly I hope you saved a lot of money. I'll see you guys in the next sale. Au revoir.